agenda item is reflected in item G of the agenda, the draft budget. We will need to complete this item in two motions. The first will be a 9.8% reduction in the working salary schedule. Then a motion to approve the 2% raise to the reduced salary schedule will be needed. Both of these motions will result in net 8% decrease in base salaries. The working salary reduction proposal supports the balanced budget for 2015-2016, which will be presented later. We have been advised by KDE that this step is absolutely necessary to bring our expenditures in line with our projected revenue for the next year. Again, should the utility tax be implemented, we will be able to adjust the salary schedule accordingly. It requires a 9.8% cut in the base salaries for all employees across the district. Also included in the budget is a state-mandated 2% raise, which results, again, in a net 8% decrease in base salaries. This salary reduction supports the proposal of balanced budget 2015-16. Commissioner McCarty, any comments?
Yeah, board members, what I'm asking you to consider tonight is first the reduction of the 9.8%, then the 2% raise mandated by KDE. This is a cut across the board for all employees. This reduction is done this way to be fair to all employees. Saying that, my salary is based on a contract. At this time, I'm asking you to amend my contract at the start of the next school year, reduce my base salary by the same percentage reduction that all other employees receive. That is not an agenda item tonight, but I just want to know I'm asking for it. Again, I'm asking you to consider first the reduction of 9.8% and then 2% raise in our salaries.
Okay, let's take two motions. Need a motion first for the 9.8% reduction.
I'll make a comment before I make the motion, and I'll do the motion. We certainly, as the board, don't want to do this. When you join the board, you come to help the kids in our education. You certainly come to lay off people or certainly cut their pay. But I'll make the motion.
I have a motion.
This is my first board meeting. I have been working extremely hard to try and learn as many aspects as I can in order to prepare for this meeting. I'm still trying to work through all of this as I know everyone else is as well. I understand that this is the tentative working budget and that we have several months before that we have to finalize this so we can make modifications and adjustments. We do not know yet of the exact number of retirees, the amount of grant money, TVA funding, or property tax money that will be received, all of which can change the amount of this pay cut. If you, Mr. McCarty, are recommending this cut, and this is the only way to balance the budget, then I will follow your recommendation. I do not believe this board has met and discussed all cost-saving proposals, but I would like to suggest a work session for the board to discuss and review the budget to see if there are any other potential cuts that can be made so that we can significantly reduce this 10% cut. I want to ensure that we save as many jobs as possible for the sake of all of our children. That is why we are here. At this point, we must make every dollar count, and we need the necessities and not the luxuries. I myself in the last year have suffered an $11,000 a year pay cut, so I know exactly how each and every one of you feel, and it's not easy. So I'm going to second this motion. Thank you.
I have a motion, a second, any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? I hear none. I need a motion to approve the 2% raise mandated by the state.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion, a second. Any discussion? I hear no discussion, so all in favor say aye. Any opposed? I hear none. Motion carried. Consider and approve the date for conducting public hearing to hear comments whether to implement a local utility tax. Mr. Bledsoe.
KDE, we were not able to put the utility tax in the projected budget because the tax has not been implemented. After discussion with KDE, our tax rate is so low and has been for so many years that we are in jeopardy of losing our SEEK funding. We are asking for your approval of this resolution, which means you will set a hearing date to listen to the public comments. We are unsure if this tax will be implemented, as there is a process in which it can be rescinded. If you'd like more information, please contact me or Galen Sperlin's office. Mr. McCarty, do you have any comments?
Yes. Financial projections, you will see presented later on tonight by Mr. Bledsinger, outline the necessity of a utility tax for the financial future of the Muhlenberg County School District. Eric will go over the projected drop in TVA in lieu of taxes over the next few years. We must, as a school system, begin the process of weaning ourselves off the TVA revenues that have carried us for the past years. Financial decisions of the past have locked us into depending on the higher TVA tax revenues now and in the future. Therefore, it's crucial that we continue to look at ways to trim our costs and also look at additional income revenue streams. The main focus of the Muhlenberg County School System is to make sure that all of our kids are college career ready when they graduate. This utility tax is a crucial step that will allow the district to continue to provide educational opportunities for our students. Without it, they will be fewer. All surrounding districts around us have a utility tax of 1, and they have over a 10% higher property rate than we do. We are one of 15 school systems out of 176 in the state of Kentucky that does not have a utility tax. Also, our district is 164th out of 176 counties in terms of total tax levy. We've made about $2 million in cuts during the 14-15 school year, as well as almost $3.8 million for this projected 15-16 year. However, these savings alone will not produce a balanced budget for next year. If the utility tax is not passed, KDE has counseled us that our only option is a salary reduction across the board for all employees for the Muhlenberg County School System to have a balanced budget for the 15-16 school year. To reach a balanced budget, we must reduce salaries by approximately 10% net 8. As Eric will state later in his presentation for KRS 160.550, we must produce a balanced budget. The across-the-board salary reduction, along with the cuts we have made this year and next, will do that. However, if the utility tax is implemented, we can reduce the salary cut to approximately 5.5, which would be approximately 3.5. The Muhlenberg County Board of Education has always been sensitive to the economic conditions of the community and has been very hesitant to ask for taxes to supplement the education of our students. But the time has come where we have no choice but go to people to request for assistance in this matter. I know that no one wants a tax of any kind. However, I urge you as a board, school board, to endorse this tax for the future of our county and our students.
Any discussion? Do I have a motion? I have a motion. And a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? I hear none. Motion carried.
January 22nd will be the hearing date. January the 22nd. We'll be sitting right here.
550, no superintendent shall recommend and no board member shall knowingly vote for an expenditure in excess of the income and revenue of any year as shown by the budget adopted by the board and approved by the Kentucky Board of Education, except for a purpose for which bonds have been voted or in a case of emergency declared by the Kentucky Board of Education. Board agenda items D, E, and F are reflected in this budget. However, again, agenda item C is not reflected in this budget, and if the utility tax is implemented, we will be able to make a net 3.5% reduction instead of the projected net 8% reduction. So I'm just going to briefly go over some of the budget history. Since 2005, we've had a staff increase of 56 people. The salary has increased $8.8 million since 2005. And since 2009, there's been $16.258 million in building projects paid for by the general fund. Our TVA revenues, they've they've been going down steadily over the course of time, and it does not look good in the future. 2012, we had $10.5 million given to us. 2013, it was reduced to $9.7 million. This year, they project giving us $8.2 million. We have not received that yet. However, we should receive that by the end of this month, and we will have a more definite figure. TVA has advised us that in 2015, we are going to receive $5.7 million, as well as in 2016. This is a reduction of nearly 50%, and we have to adjust onward. After 2016, TVA has advised us to expect that the revenue, the in lieu taxes, is going to decrease by 20% every year, and they do not have a floor for it. So we do not know where that's going to stop. In my financial projections, I cannot make a projection that is going to have it at the floor somewhere, so I've continually dropped it down. Salaries have comprised between 82 and 86% of the budget since 2011, and with the reduced revenues that we are going to be, that we're projecting next year, that would have increased. So again, there's a net 8% salary reduction. With these salary reductions, I've had to take the numbers and project them out beyond next year. KDE made the statement that we must meet contingency this year and every year thereafter. Our original thought process was to try to get a line of credit and be able to go gradually over time. And unfortunately, KDE told us we were not able to do that. And we had to correct it right there and every year thereafter. My wife was raised in Muhlenberg County, and we recently moved away, but we moved back. And we were very excited to get back to the county. We love this county a lot. My two boys are going to be raised in this school system by many of you. I don't have all the answers. That's why I'm asking you, everyone out here, the teachers, the classified staff, to give me suggestions. There are things that I might be missing. I'm going to pore over the budget every day and try to find savings. And many of you know, at least the teachers and the school staff, you have my email, so please feel free. Send me ideas. I will look at everything I can.
I will forward this to you tomorrow, electronically.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I cannot promise I will get to look at all of these ideas, but I cannot overlook any ideas that may help. Again, like I said, please email me your suggestions, and I will continue to look for every areas of savings to give it back to all of you. Thank you.
We must begin to look to educate all our students within the budget that we have. That's a difficult task, but other districts in our state have been making decisions with limited resources for years. While this is an absolute new way of thinking for everyone, it is evident that we must enter into this new school era of planning and budgeting for student success. Board members, tonight I am asking you to approve the draft budget for the 15-16 school year.
Before we ask for a motion, I want all of you to know I'm not the rock, and I act like I am up here tonight. I've cried for several days over this. I don't want to cut anybody's job or anybody's salary, but it has to be done. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to accept the draft budget.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? I hear none. Motion carries. Next item is to consider site-based decision-making based allocations. Mr. Bledsoe.
Thank you again. For the fiscal year 2016, we recommend that the school site-based decision-making base allocations be reduced to $100, and this reduction has been included in the 2015-16 draft budget.
Do I have any discussion?
The schools are going to, we're going to keep whatever they say this year, that their balance is good, no taking away? Yes, sir. Okay.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Consider amending the district staffing policy. Mr. Reynolds.
Mr. Chairman and members of the board, you have before you a copy of a working draft of the school-based decision-making guidelines and procedures for school staffing. Throughout this is, as I've mentioned, this is a draft. We're working, KDE is on the telephone with them today with additional information that should be included in this projection for next year. To briefly give you an overview, and for those who are here, the draft at this moment is a reduction of 2 administrators at the high school level. All elementary schools will have 1 guidance counselor. The career counselors will depend on outside funding if that is to continue. In section 3, on the support staff at the school, which consists of the aides, secretaries, and the people that are important there working with the students in that area, we want to make sure that we have on this to be determined, and the reason for that is when we look at the number of retirees, the number of shifting of staff from school to school, that we make sure that each school is equally staffed with the support staff of classified personnel. At this time, I need approval or any questions that you may have on this draft, and there will be another draft that will be brought to you next month as we continue to update it with KDE. These are included also in the reduction to balance the budget.
Any discussion? Okay, do I have a motion?
I move that we accept this proposal.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed?